Lily,
Yeah.
do you know who made you?
God.
What else did God make?
Everything.
Why did God make everything?
Show His glory.
To show His glory. Do you know how can you show God glory?
Of loving Him.
By loving Him. And God says that if you love Him, you'll keep His commands. Do you love God?
Yeah.
Yeah, so part of loving God is following His commands and not doing bad things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll never do any bad things. No.
Never? Maybe sometimes. Maybe once.
Yeah. I think one more time of fighting and then I'm not going to do any more fighting.
Yeah, so fighting is a bad thing if we fight with our brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah, God doesn't, it's not good when we fight. So if we love God, we'll try to listen to Him when He says, don't fight with your brothers and sisters. Because sometimes when we fight, that's selfishness.
Yeah.
It's wanting it's caring more about what we want than about what our brother wants.
Yeah.
So God says, don't be selfish.
Yeah.
Treat your brother kindly. And care about what he wants to. So if you love God, you'll love your brother. And you won't fight over stuff like toys with him.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what we'll try this week.
Yeah.
Not fighting with our brother.
I think I'll never fight this day.
You won't fight today?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good goal. Okay, today we're going to read a story, Who Sang the First Song by Ellie Holcomb. Who sang the first song? Who hummed the first tune? Was it the wind blowing past the silvery moon? Were the stars making noise as they sparkled at night? Did the sun sing a song as it colored the sky?
What song is the sunset?
What song is the sun singing? What do you think?
I think it is. Oh, that's a new song about whole lot about new animals.
Oh. Did the waves make a song as they crashed to the shore? Or was it the whales? Or the lions first? Did the first flowers hum as they burst into bloom? Or was the first song when the thunder went boom? Maybe elephants running loud over the ground. Or maybe the birds made the first singing sound. All these guesses we've made are quite good, but they're wrong. It was God, our Maker, who sang the first song. When God made the earth, He decided to sing, and He wrote His song into everything. God's song says, "You're good, you are wonderfully made, and I'll never stop loving you all of your days. So I want you to sing with your life and your voice, for I created the earth to make a joyful noise." So now we know who sang the first song. God, who made us, knew all along that every heart and everything was born with the song it was made to sing.
Yeah.
The end.
The end.
Last time we talked about why did God make all things, and it was to show His glory. We talked about how seeing God's glory is seeing how awesome He is, seeing how great He is, how wonderful He is. So how can we show the rest of the world how great God is? And that's what we're going to talk about today. How can we give God glory? And the answer is by loving Him and keeping His commands. You might have heard of the 10 Commandments. They are a special set of rules that God gave to His people to follow. Now, if we were meeting in person, I would probably stop here and ask if anybody in the crowd knew what the 10 Commandments were. So maybe you can pause the video and talk about it with your family real quick. See if anybody knows what the 10 Commandments are. I'll wait. In case you didn't know what they were, or you didn't even bother doing that, or you missed one or two, I will tell you what they are. They are: have no other gods before God. Don't make an idol. Keep the Sabbath holy. Don't take his name in vain. Don't take the Lord's name in vain. Honor your mother and father. Don't murder. Don't commit adultery. Don't steal. Don't lie or bear false witness. And don't covet. Sometimes rules can seem strict or like they're not very much fun, and we don't really enjoy following them. Our parents might give us a rule that we don't really like to follow, but we can trust that our parents give us rules. They make rules that keep us safe and keep us healthy and happy. We always say at Kids Club or church or VBS, certain rules that we have are there so that we can have a good, safe time, and that's why they're important to follow. So your parents might say something like, you can't have any dessert until after supper, and that's the rule. And to you, it might just seem like so lame because you just want to eat cookies before you eat your supper. But your parents know that in order for you to grow and to be healthy, you need to eat the nutrients and the vitamins that are in your chicken or your broccoli before you get to the sugary stuff that's in cookies or cake or pie or whatever. And the reason that your parents are doing that is so that they're not doing that to deprive you of the tasty treats. They're doing it so that you get the good stuff first and that you can grow healthy. It's similar with God. The 10 Commandments and all the rules that he has put into place are so that we can have a good and safe life. If we trust that God is the wisest being out there and he knows all and he knows best for us, then we should follow his commands happily, because we trust that he has set out a good and safe path in our life. So if we love him, if we trust him, we know that by following his commands, we are following the path that he set out for us that will be safest and happiest for us. There is sometimes pain, and there's always a consequence when we sin, when we break one of God's rules, one of his commandments. So how does loving him and following his commands show the world how awesome he is? When we choose to follow God's commands over what the world says we should do, it shows the world that we think God is awesome. We think that he is the best. We believe that he is the wisest, and we trust him that he loves us so much that he would set out a good path for us. So by loving him, by trusting him, and by following his commands, we say to the world, God is awesome, and he knows what's best. And then that brings glory to God when we do it happily and we do it out of love for God. In Deuteronomy 11:1, it says, "You shall therefore love the Lord your God and keep his charge, his statutes, his rules, and his commandments always." So that's the charge, that's the challenge for us, is to love God with all of our heart, all of our soul, all of our minds, and to follow his commands happily and out of that love for him. So we're going to take some time to pray, and I hope that you have a great week.